everybody. Shenoah Grove here. Welcome to Texas REIAs, founder and president of Texas REIAs. Excited to be with you here today, talking to you about getting started investing in real estate. So as part of Texas REIAs, we are your local source for investing in deals, getting additional knowledge, what we call tribal knowledge, getting funding for those deals, any deals that you might be working on right now, as well as partnering and coaching on those deals. So excited to be with you here today and excited to share with you what I've learned over almost 2 decades of investing in real estate. So as we were getting started, I did a quick poll of the audience just to see what you guys are doing in real estate. And back to back, I got 3 people who said that they were just getting their license or about to get their license in real estate and as a real estate agent. And I will tell you, this is a track that I see a lot of want to be real estate investors go down, meaning they go and get their license, and then after they get their license, they say, this is not getting me anywhere closer to investing in real estate. You have some knowledge, right? So now you got to put that knowledge into play in terms of using it to invest in real estate. So some people will say, well, I got my realtor's license so I could look at deals on the MLS. Well, that's a little bit of an oxymoron because there really are no deals on the MLS, unfortunately. I would say in this community, houses are probably selling somewhere between 98 and 99% of their list price, their original list price. So typically what that means is most people are paying full retail when they're buying off of the MLS. Any mistake that you make on the buy, in terms of overpaying for a property can be remedied with time and appreciation. But if your goal is to buy, fix, and flip, then you don't have the time to get the appreciation that might be necessary. So I would suggest to you guys, and this is only after having done this for the last almost 2 decades, I'd suggest to you that you're probably not going to find your deal on the MLS. If you're searching, I would say please have other strategies because you will quickly burn out as a real estate investor and basically say there are no deals out there. Well, yes, your deals are not on the MLS, but if you want a quick tip on being able to quickly search and do it effortlessly, just spend 5 minutes on it one time. Just add yourself as one of your clients in your MLS profile, and then just set up an auto search. So anytime the agent remarks say investor, or any of the times the agent remarks say motivated or needs repair, so some of those are kind of little keywords, right? Then it just auto sends those to you. So that's a great way to be able to search the MLS without getting in there every day and searching and looking at every single listing, because that will drive you bananas, and it's not going to result in what you are probably ultimately looking for, which is to find that deal. So as we go through the presentation tonight, we're going to go through about 65 different marketing strategies to help you better locate your deal, because like I said, your deal's probably not on the MLS. Now, the market is changing, and it's changing very quickly. What's happening in the market, guys? What's happening with year-over-year sales? They're down, not insignificantly. Like, they're down in some markets in Texas 15%, in other markets in Texas up to 28+%. Okay, so what does that tell you about the future of deals on the MLS? They might be coming to an MLS near you at some point very soon. We're seeing sellers actively reduce their prices. I was reading a stat on one of the MLSs that I'm subscribed to, and it said about 17% of the active listings on the MLS had a price decrease in the last week, right? So what does that tell you about potential for if someone can't sell their house in time and they're pending a foreclosure, they have to move for whatever reason, those are going to be the ones to watch for sure. But I would say because sellers have so much equity, usually again they're going to make it through the MLS and get a sale. I think as we continue to raise interest rates, and I think the Fed Chairman Powell is going to be meeting again on Friday this week, we are going to see more buyers. I kind of refer to it as, you know, when you're on a playground and you're a kid and you're playing with another kid, and all of a sudden that kid stops playing fairly, or that kid does something that's unkind, or that kid does something to, you know, be mean or hurt you. What do you do? What do you do if you're the kid who's being hurt? What do you do? Anybody? Aroldo says he's going to retaliate. Okay. What else? Leave. You're going to grab, I'm going to take my balls, right? I'm going to grab my toys and I'm going to leave. Yeah, right? So the way that I describe what's happening right now in the real estate market is that the would-be buyers are hurt. They've been hurt. Their feelings have been hurt. By who? No, not by the seller. By Fed Chairman Powell raising interest rates. Right? Right? I'm angry. I'm upset. So what am I going to do? I'm going to pick up my toys. What are our toys if we are buyers? Our down payment, right? I'm going to pick up my down payment and I'm going to go and I'm going to sign that lease for another 6 months or sign that lease for another year. Is that what's happening right now? Yeah, that's what's happening. And it's happening to somewhere between 15 to 28% of the would-be buyers that are in the market as of last month. And I'll share with you guys what that data looks like. So whenever there's fear, whenever there's uncertainty, right, what do? Do we say like, let's charge forward and take action? Is that what we say? Who says that in here? Or do we say, hey, let's kind of hold up for a minute and just kind of see what shoes continue to drop, and then we'll decide from there if we want to go and do something, right? And I think that's what's happening in the market. Now, when does this child who took their toy and they went away from the playground, when does this child come back to the playground? Okay, when does the child come back though? When it gets older, wiser, maybe, tougher. Why else? Why else might he come back? Let's. You guys are already on the market. I'm still on the playground. That's okay. That's okay. So you know, for our son, it's like all of a sudden a toy gets more interesting when what happens? When someone else activates it, meaning when someone else starts to play with it, right? And then it's like, wait a second, what's going on over there? I didn't really like that before, but now I'm much more open to it, right? So now I want to get back in the game. When is that going to happen for us? When is that going to happen for the buyers? When are the buyers going to want to get back in the game? Leo says when interest rates go down. What else? Say again? Fair? Prices come down? More demand? When else? When else might this happen? When else might a buyer bring their toy, their down payment back to the playground and want to play again? At some point, are they going to say, oh, okay, it looks like interest rates are not going to continue to go down. In fact, it looks like interest rates are going to go up even more. And the more up they go, the less I'll be able to afford, right? I already missed it now. It used to be that I could afford a $400,000 house. Now I can only afford a $360,000 house. If the Fed keeps going the way the Fed's been going, I may only be able to afford a $300,000 house. Could that be possible? Yeah, it could be possible. And there's just like this, there's a little bit of seller psychology that's going on here, right? Seller psychology. And I know, I see some of you guys either have, not all of you, but some of you guys either have gray hair or no hair. So that means there's a possibility that some of you guys may have bought a house in the 80s, right? And if you look at the 80s, interest rates were 15% to 18%. And when they were 15%, what were buyers saying? They had gotten used to it, right? And they had said, what? We better buy a house before the interest rates go up to 18%, which is where they were going. So this buyer psychology takes a little bit of time to kick in. And we're in that I'm not ready yet phase. We're in that I'm taking my ball and I'm going to sit on the sidelines and I'm going to wait phase. And I think that we may be seeing that for, I mean, and you know, it's, you know, the Fed This Fed that we have right now has been more open when it comes to when interest rates are going to go up and at what level they're going to go up than any other prior Fed. Like they basically said, we don't want to surprise anybody. We don't want to surprise the stock market. We're going to let you guys know well in advance of our meeting as much as we can what we're going to do. And that's exactly what this Fed chairman is doing. And it is sidelined a lot of would-be buyers. Well, what's going to happen to sellers, guys? What's going to happen to our sellers? Some people said the sellers might lower their price. Is that possible? Which one of the sellers are going to lower their price? The sellers who have to sell, the sellers who need to sell, the sellers who must sell, right? It's a different environment, though, than what it was in 2006, 7, 8, 9, in that we don't have any more of what kind of mortgages? Adjustable rate mortgages and balloon mortgages. We don't really have those anymore, right? So, and then what else has kind of given the sellers a little bit of more time? What's giving sellers more time right now? Do they have a little bit more equity than they had in 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? Yes, they probably have somewhere between $100,000 in equity, some people hundreds of thousands of dollars in equity. So what might the sellers do? Okay, you want to take your ball home? I'm going to take my ball home too. Right now, the sellers are putting their balls out on the field though. What's going on with inventory right now? Yeah, that'd be awesome, yeah. What's going on with inventory lately? It's increasing like crazy. It's up like crazy. Why? You take a couple of months where you have a 15% plus reduction in sales, what's going to happen to inventory just naturally? It's going to go up, right? What are builders doing right now? Has anybody visited any builder sites lately? Yeah, what are they doing? Building. So is it building? What else? Not doing a very good job. They're building and not doing a very good job. Do you see them being a little bit more lenient with their buyers? Yeah, that was the air conditioner. Yeah, it's off now. I had to make a decision if you wanted to listen to the meeting or if you wanted to be cool. I'm going with the meeting, so, and hold on my calls, please, sir. So builders are, in some cases, who have Heismaned investors, basically saying, we don't want any investors in this community. What are they now doing? Oh crap, these houses got to go. We got to get the capital back. So what are they now doing with investors? They're welcoming them back in for the first time that we've seen in years, okay? So this is some of the changes that we're seeing in the market, which I think yield for both an exciting ride as well as a lot of opportunity, right? We're in a little bit of a crisis, but crisis can be both disruption and opportunity at the same time. So I think we're certainly living through that right now. What else are we seeing in the market, guys? Really? What else, guys? What else are we seeing in the market right now? Fluctuation in interest rates, absolutely. Yeah, what else? Someone else was saying something. Lots of people renting, so the number of rents have gone up substantially. As we do the market update, I'm going to show that. I'm curious, any of you guys are talking to a seller right now? Are any of you guys actively talking to a seller right now? You are? Yeah. Would you mind sharing a little bit and talking through it so some of the other folks in here can learn from what you're doing right now? Would you mind coming up to this microphone? Yeah. We're ready for your close-up. All right, give a round of applause for this fine gentleman right here.
How y'all doing today?
What's your name?
My name is Andrew Magana.
Andrew, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Good.
How about yourself?
Wonderful. Tell me what you're working on.
So right now we got a property under assignment, out of Sandia, Texas.
So you have it under contract and you want to assign it. You want to wholesale it, or you're buying it from a wholesaler?
I am wholesaling it.
You're wholesaling it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, we got it under contract. We got a buyer. We're just waiting on a little bit of information for the title commitment to come back clean.
Okay.
And so we can get funded.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us about how you found the deal.
It was actually a friend of ours through our work where we work at. We also sell cars and stuff. So he's our paint body guy, and he inherited a piece of property that he really can't pay the tax. When he inherited it, it had so much taxes behind, he can't pay them. So he was kind of in the bind.
Perfect.
We're actually helping him help us.
Yeah.
So.
That's beautiful. So you just told me you were investing in real estate. It's just that's how it came up in the conversation.
Right.
Okay, perfect. So, guys, take a note. Tell every single person that you know and that you work with what you do, unless it's going to get you fired, right? Unless you can get a great package when you do get fired. Okay. Yeah, please tell everyone. I'll never forget a colleague of ours. Her name's Kathy. She's in the Dallas-Fort Worth market. Every morning before she would leave her house, she would grab like 20 business cards, and she would not allow herself to come home until she did what? Handed out every single one. Now, it was a little freaky when she was walking up to you at the gas pump, It's like, she's like, I'm just going to hit a Sonic or a Chick-fil-A and just knock it all out right now. But yeah, please tell everyone what you do. Please tell everyone what you do. So, so a couple things that I heard here is you said it was an inheritance.
Right.
Was there a will?
There was a will.
And was it probated?
It's actually kind of complicated.
It's never complicated.
Sure
it's always complicated. Yeah, tell me.
So him and his brother inherited the property. His brother passed away in February.
Okay.
And he had a son that was adopted by someone else.
Okay.
And they got to clear that, and also they had to clear his last marriage. It's a few.
It's a little bit of paperwork.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of paperwork. So, I'm so glad that your seller it sounds like your seller actually told you the situation up front.
Right.
So sometimes when I'm asking questions, the seller may say, "I don't know. I don't have any other siblings."
That's not true. He forgot to mention there's a stepbrother that he never met way down the line. And
Okay.
One of the things that
You're working through a dead brother too. Yeah. Is that?
Well, actually, one that doesn't even want to do anything with it.
And one that doesn't want anything to do with it. Yeah.
He's being uncooperative.
Uncooperative. Okay, so I'll tell you some of my favorite quotes after a seller initially tells me I'm the only heir. Once the title company comes back and finds all of these other heirs, and you ask them about that, some of the responses that I've gotten are absolute classics, including, well, nobody ever liked that brother anyway. Okay. And well, that brother's in jail. You can get a notary to go to a jail, right? Or that brother's dead, which allows for another layer of complication, so another what's called an affidavit of heirship. But you got to find all of these sellers. So can I give you guys a little bit of advice for when you talk to a seller to make sure that you're getting all of the proper information up front? One person says yes. Is this thing working? I mean, I think I can see you guys. I can hear you breathing. Would you like to know this tip? Yes. Okay, good. Tell the seller that these days title companies are an affiliate of 23andMe. Title companies, when you call 1-800-Who's the Daddy, the title company answers. Okay? So what that means is if you have any blood relatives, living or dead, we are going to be finding them. So let me just ask you one more time. Are there any other heirs? Because if this property is going to foreclosure because it's behind on taxes or whatever the situation is, you don't want to, at the last minute, find that uncooperative brother that no one likes anyway, okay? Texas law does not work like, well, no one likes anyway. I'm sorry, I didn't read that in the Texas property code, right? But some sellers think like that's seller logic, right? So you have to very quickly talk them out of that. Let them know, and you can just tell them stories. Like I was just talking to a guy the other day that, you know, they had a brother that no one liked, and he was uncooperative. So we basically decided we were going to cut him. They basically decided they were going to cut him out, and then the title company found him and said, no, the way that Texas law works is you got to track this person down, whether he is in another country, whether he is liked or unliked, right? You got to be able to find him because these will stop your deals. These will stop your deals. So feel free to use the 23andMe. Feel free to use the 1-800 Who's Your Daddy because the title company will find them. And then I don't want to have to go back to you and have an awkward conversation about some brother. Let me go and handle that brother right now because he will have to get signed. He will have to notarize these documents. So no, stay up here. So Andrew's like, I need to leave now. I got to go call another brother. So no, Andrew. So what are you going to say to the uncooperative brother is really what I want to know.
Well, first of all, we got to be able to get a hold of them.
Yeah. How are you going to find them?
Well, we've looked them up through social media. We did
social media stalking. Good. Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, you're going to help him out. Hold on. So hold on. What's your name?
Alex.
Alex. So Alex, you pushed Andrew up here, and now you're going to push him down?
No, I'm here to say when we got it.
Okay. All right.
Well, so there was a few things.
Get in the mic. Get in the view of the mic so we can see you very well. Yeah. He's like, I got some brothers to call. I'll be back.
No,
I'll be in the back.
So the reason I brought him up because he knows more than I do about everything. I was the one who kind of helped the friend out, whatever, and kind of interested. That's why we're here. So I Facebook stalked him. I found him. I even found a post that said, I'm no longer such and such. I'm a this. So he was actually adopted, and he changed his name and stuff like that. He doesn't want anything to do with them. We try to reach out. So we don't know what we're gonna do. I mean, we're actually gonna try to reach out to his the ex-wife, the mom.
Yeah.
See if maybe she's a little bit more compassionate about our situation. Yeah. And that we're just trying to, most of the people are good people, so they'll try to at least say, well, really, we just need a statement. So. Yeah. Yeah. So.
I would tell you, like, if, like a lot of times what I tell people is when they're trying to find an owner, and this is not your case, but this is a good tip for the rest of you guys who will have different situations more like this, where you're finding, you go to a house, it's vacant, right? And you can't find the owner. Who's the best person to ask? Neighbors. The neighbors. What the neighbors know about you will freak you out, right? And what the neighbors want to tell everyone who walks up to that property about you after you have not mowed your lawn for months, right? After people have been breaking into the property, like they cannot wait to talk to you. That's one way. I have a search site that I use, IDI Core. It's basically like, private investigative type stuff. Whitepages.com. They're so
ID what?
IDI Core. Yeah, IDI Core. If you know a property manager, sometimes property managers can pull a little bit of a background search to be able to find someone. But you got to find them, at the end of the day. And then so you're going to say, like, hey, you just got to sign this little document for these people that you hate and you've disowned. That's going to work out. Does anybody see, like, Elon Musk's daughter, like, recently disowned him? It's like, imagine how that conversation would go, right? It's like, no, I disown that family, right? I disown that person. So how's that going to go? Make it official. I like that, Araldo. Yeah, Araldo is first going to beat you up on the playground, and then he's going to say, let's make it official. So, in terms of getting his signature, so I like that. But what I've found is there's something that you have in your wallet that could probably grease the skids a lot better. Yeah, yeah. So if there's enough money in the deal, that person's getting money. So make sure he's aware of that. I mean, he is an heir, right? So he is entitled to that money, and there's something about money that makes you all of a sudden embrace relatives that you used to hate. So you know, that's going to be part of it. And then the other thing I would do is you know, what's this strategy we call FUD, F-U-D, which means fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Which basically means that his name in some way is going to be tied to this property. I'm stretching here, okay? I'm stretching here. Don't cancel me. No one's going to cancel me in here if I'm stretching a little bit. Is that okay? Is that okay? Okay, okay. For those of you guys who can cancel me, who are thinking about canceling me about stretching this right here, I just got to tell you, it's only going to get worse. So if you need to exit, don't forget that the closest exit may be behind you. But I might use fear, uncertainty, and doubt to say, you know, you're going to be attached to this property. So, you know, the next call is not going to be from me who wants to put money in your pocket. The next call is going to be from some type of a creditor that's associated with this person. And I don't want you to have to deal with that, right? I want this to be the last call, the last discussion that you ever have to have on this property. Because if it's not with me, it's going to be with 55 other people that are going to come and track you down and bother you, and or it's going to be with all of the creditors that have a lien against this property. Is that okay to say? Okay, yeah, so say that. And let me know how it goes.
So in the case that he doesn't cooperate, we can get anything. The last
Colorado, he'll put him in a headlock.
Option.
Looks like Alex,
I'm just going to read what the email says, and then I'll go sit down. And
yeah, no, I'm listening.
It says, without these items, we cannot close. Other options would be for the seller to go to court and see if he could file a trespass title suit, or maybe a monument of titles. A suit to quiet title?
A suit to quiet title?
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, or maybe a monument of title, since they do not probate Richard's estate.
Yeah, I mean, that's not going to be good. I mean, one other option for you guys, and this is ugly, but I'll go and throw it out there. You could close it without title insurance, but basically that's going to be, I don't know if you guys are, you know, kind of familiar with this concept of, you know, buying a car that has a lost title, right? Or even like a, you know, sometimes you guys are in the car business, right? Buying a car with, you know, that it's been a totaled title, right? So it's not really transferable. So once you get a title that's not insurable from a title company, just like a car that doesn't have a title that you're buying, the price goes down to about 25 cents on the dollar, right? So if it is a proper, and the only time that I would do that, if it were, for example, a property that just had really great cash flow, right? So basically, you know, you're just going to keep it forever as a rental property. It's going to go to your heirs as a rental property because you're probably never going to be able to settle that. Now, could you wait until, and again, I mean, please don't cancel me here, but I'm just going to just play this out 10, 20 years from now. Could you wait until the person who has disowned everyone in the family to die and then go to that person's heirs? You could. So that's an option too, but you're really just kicking the can down the road. If there's an opportunity to just basically say, you know, to your friend who you work with, you know, guy that, and he understands cars and he understands the car business, you know, this is like basically me buying, you know, parts, right? This is basically me buying a car without a title. I can do that. I'd love to do that. I love to put some money in your pocket, but it's not going to be as much as what we originally talked about. And then if you're trying to wholesale that property, you know, then, you know, from that point of view, your buyer does not want a bad title either, right? So your buyer's going to want to make sure that all of these things are handled now. So, and I would ask that, you know, before you go and talk to this person, I would ask your title company, tell me what I need him to sign and prepare that for me, so that when I am over there, I'm not going back and forth with him. So can you prepare a deed today that he can sign and give his interest over to, or a release that will give his interest over to the brother that you guys are dealing with in the auto body shop, right? Does that make sense? Yes. Yeah, so these deals are doable. Sometimes they get ugly, but I would say most deals get ugly. It's just part of what we do in real estate, right? If you want the pretty deal or the pretty property, right, with a pretty title, find it on the MLS. Just know that you're not going to get a discount on that property, right? So it's going to be harder to make money off of it. So keep me posted on that. I am super curious about how that goes. But for you guys who are in here, did you learn a couple of things from that discussion? Yeah, okay. Let me tell you something. You will be in this exact situation if you are buying and selling properties. It is only a matter of time. You have to be really good about unscrambling eggs. That's your job. That's your job as a real estate investor. The reason why we get paid the big bucks, the reason why we get the big discounts is because we deal with very big problems, right? And we sort out all of those very big problems. So I want to make sure you guys are thinking that way. And I will say, you know, for me, I just want to make money every single time the phone rings. I'm used to solving big problems. I'm used to coming up with creative strategies to be able to do that, because I never want to walk away from a deal, even if there's a hair on it, right? I'm gonna pick it off, and it's gonna take some time, and so will yours. So, did you have another question? You want me to go back a couple of slides? About was it the funding slide? I saw you guys pulling out your phone at that point. So let me see if I can get that going. All right. I think it's the very next slide. So just I'll give you guys a second to take a picture of that. And then for those of you guys who are online with us, hey guys, thanks for joining. Hope you learned something about buying properties when there is an heir issue, which is continues to come up and will continue to come up as long as you invest in real estate. And I will say, if you guys who are on with us would like to join us in person, we meet every Tuesday of the month. So in Austin, Houston, Dallas, or San Antonio. And love to see you at one of our next meetings. Love to see you at one of our next meetings. And it's the next slide. It's on a 30-second delay, so sorry about that, but I'll make sure that there it goes. So that's the one that you want. And then, of course, if you guys did not get a chance to take a picture of all the slides, no worries. We also have them on our YouTube channel. We also have them on our Facebook page, where we play the prior meetings, so you guys can go and check them all out there too. So, and excited to be with you guys, and excited to share tribal knowledge with you all. One of the things that I love doing is unscrambling those eggs. And I just use my almost 2 decades of investing in real estate to be able to do that. So excited to be able to continue to be on this journey with you guys and share best practices when it comes to real estate and real estate investing. And the next session is going to be the market update and training, so stay tuned for that.